in terms of Rome's view, Rome was not going to say that we should worship the saints. That's a kind of popular Protestant polemic, maybe, that's not a well-informed one. But what Rome says is there's a distinction between veneration, or dulia, as the Latin term. There is a veneration or an honoring of the saints that occurs. Then there is latria, or worship, which is due only to God. There is hyperdulia, which is owed to the Virgin Mary, so the Theotokos. She has a distinctive kind of veneration. She's to be venerated even above the other saints in a unique sense as the Mother of God, the bearer of Christ. So the Theotokos is looked at differently than the rest of the saints, but even then that kind of hyperdulia or that higher form of veneration is still not at the level of worship. So within Roman Catholic theology, there is a very clear recognition that there is a differentiation between acts of veneration and acts of worship. So they are not self-consciously, professedly worshiping the saints. They're not self-consciously, purposefully worshiping created things rather than the Creator. So that's not going to be the question in terms of how do they frame it, but the question to some degree is going to be, but does this distinction between veneration and worship exist scripturally? The thing is, with Roman theology, there are so many little categories and little distinctions, especially over the many years and the many volumes of, Robert Bellarmine or somebody who's writing so extensively dealing with the Reformation. Of course, they're going to have all of the distinctions that make them be able to affirm everything Scripture says, but then have other categories to nuance it. Prime example of this, well, yes, prayer is only to God, but there's a different kind of prayer that's to the saints. Well, so they have enough distinctions that you can fit it into Scripture, okay? So you can fit it into the text. But the question is, but can you get it out of the text